Good evening, everyone. Glad to have you here. This is Cedar Pro once again. This is OG here from Cedar Pro. So glad to have you with us on this broadcast. I'm trying to let me just walk around the techie side now. I hope you can see me. If anyone is there, if you can see me, just let me know. If you're in this broadcast, just let me know. This is a straight broadcast, and we're just going to be talking about red flags to be aware of before accepting a job offer from a tech company. Now, who are we? We are Cedar Pro. We are a training consultancy based in UK, and we train people in project management, business analysis, Scrum Master, just usually around the techie world. That's what we usually do. But now we're looking at some red flags to be aware of before accepting a job. Now, this is not just accepting a job from a tech company, it's accepting a job offer from any company at all. Now, I'm sure you read in the newspaper recently or in the news in UK about how two former members of parliament or still members of parliament were offered a job offer or were given a job offer by a fake company. Now, and they said, well, they were charging £10,000 consultancy firm a day. Now, why would they fall in for that kind of thing? Why would they, in the first place, be easily taken back, be easily taken into such role without really checking or carrying out due diligence about the company? Now, those are people who are well educated, who have led different parts in the country, but they fell for such. So what about you? What's going to happen if something comes up and then you're looking at yourself and thinking, do I accept this job offer or not? Number one thing I want to tell you is this: don't be too desperate in applying for jobs. Be very, very careful. Be very, very careful, because now there is that proliferation of training centers. So many training centers are coming up. Every one of them tell you, we do this, we can do that, we can offer you this, we can offer you that. You need to first of all understand that somebody having a knowledge or a subject expert in an area does not really make you a trainer. It's good for you to ask the person and say, what, can I check your certifications? Can I check what you have? That's number one. And because you're having lots of people who are bringing people, training people into the industry, that means you're having lots of people coming out looking for jobs. Be very, very careful. The first thing you need to look at, I would say the red flag that you need to look at, is the vague job description. The job description is so vague. I remember when I applied for a job some years back, and I looked at the contract, because some it's very important for you to review the contract, read the contract very well, because what most people look at is, first of all, they look at name of company, they look at the benefits, the holidays that they've got, and then sometimes they just look at the salary. But some people don't really care to look at number one. After looking at the name of the company, you're looking at the salary of the company. It's important for you to look at, just a moment, please. See, moment. No, okay. Okay. Yeah, so what some people look at is, first of all, they look at the name of the company. Okay, it's the right company. That's very good. Then the next thing they look at is they look at name of company, look at the salary, they look at the benefits that is going to yield them, and that's it. So they tell you, well, you're going to have this pension, this health insurance, you're going to be given this benefit, and so many other things. But what they don't look at is the job description. They look at the job description before going for the interview, so that they can answer the interview questions. But after the interview, they don't really look at the job description. It's important for you to look at the job description. What does the job really cover? What is it that they want from you? Sometimes if you look at some job description, they'll tell you, after giving you the basic job description in regards to what they want you to do, then in a phrase they can say, and any other thing. It's important for you to find out what are the other things that they want you to do. Can it be put in a way that you can understand it? Is it in a written form? Very, very important that you check such things. People don't really check that. What are the other things that is required of you? And sometimes some of them can even say, it's amazing. Some of them can even say, you're going to be working in different stations. Where exactly am I going to be working? I remember some years back when I had to work for a company, national. In fact, let me just say, I was working for a heads company. I don't want to call the name now. And then they said, you can work cross sites, in between sites. Now, at the very first instance, when we're accepting the job and people are accepting the job, some people did not read it, that you can work, we can make you to work cross sites, because it's different bodies. It's the National Health Service, NHS, so they have different hospitals in different areas. So they say you could work cross sites. Most people did not see that. They just felt, you know what, as long as this particular building, this infrastructure, this asset is here, the hospital is treating people around the area, there's no way they're going to walk cross site. But after I've left there, I moved on, after I've left there years later, they now came up and said, you know what, look at your contract again, the contract that was signed some years back. In fact, they did a redundancy. And then after the redundancy, everybody have to apply for their jobs. They said, look at your contract. Your contract states that you will work cross sites. Now, some people were living in close proximity to that hospital. So when they told them they were going to work cross sites, they were moving them far to a different hospital entirely. But it is what is written in the contract. And because some people did not read it, because they didn't take time to really look at it, that's where they were caught. So vague job description, you have to be very careful of that. Don't be too desperate to look for a job that when you get a job, number one, you're looking at the job, you're flicking through, you are not really looking at the job description. Another thing that most people don't look at is the policy. Most people don't read company policies. Very funny, how you can get a job offer. You'll get, by the time you get the job offer, you're taken into the job. You've not taken time to go through the job policies. It's very important. So I'm covering that aspect of, vague job description. Be very careful, when you're going for a job or you're applying for a job. Check the job description. Check the skills that they want. Check the background. Do a background check on the company. Do a background check on the company. Sometimes when I'm applying for a job, I'll do a background check on the CEO of the company. I do that. People are asking me, why do you do that? I have to. I can even go as far as doing a background check on the finances of the company, going to Yahoo Finance. And if I can't get them on Yahoo Finance, if they are UK-based company only, I'll go to Companies House and check their statements. People don't do this. This is in-depth. So those things, by the time you check their statement, check about the company, check about the CEO, the directors of the company that you're going to work for, red flags should start coming in. Do I apply for this job or do I not apply? Another thing you need to be aware of is the culture of work. You need to be careful. You need to check. Does the hiring manager say things like, many of our employers, many of our employees stay late, they work weekend. Sometimes you might be made to work 3 weekends. Sometimes you might be made to work, till about 9 p.m. There should be a stipulated time that you're going to spend at work. If he's telling you that you're going to work, man, that's a red flag. You can't say, okay, I'm going to work. And then it might come up like, we only pay for these hours. You have to be very, very careful. Very, very careful. We're talking about red signs to look out for when applying for a job in a tech industry. Now, you might say a tech industry. The same red flag that applies in the construction industry can apply in the tech industry. An industry is an industry. Can apply in a company that is not even tech related. So you have to be careful. Number one, we said vague job description. Number two, we said the culture of work. You have to be careful. about such culture. We at Cedar Pro, you know, why the reason why we are telling you this is because we are a training organization based in United Kingdom. We train people in project management, business analysis, Scrum Master, you know, product owner. Now we're getting into software testing. So that culture of work, you have to be very careful with it. Listen to words like many of our employees stay late. Sometimes we have to make you work some weekend. We can call you in an emergency. We can call you to back and cover to back or to cover somebody up in a short period. Look at such things, because what will happen is this: the HR will put those things that they are saying right now in the contract, and if you are not careful, you sign the contract without reading it, and then without really seeing those fine lines there. And by the time you look at it and say, oh my goodness, what's going on? You know, you have to be very, very careful. Now, when it comes to unprofessional communication, you have some bullying culture in an organization. You're gonna be thinking, okay, well, how do I know this before going in? Check the reviews. Go online and check the reviews. You'll see companies that some people have worked for, they've left reviews there, they've left comments there. Check those comments. Make sure that those comments tie up with your culture. Don't just get into an organization and just feel, okay, well, you know what, this is it. I've gotten a job I've been looking for, and then you just jump in. You know, check the reviews. There are unprofessional comments. You know, it will show you that the company does not have a sense of boundaries. Check the reviews. Check exactly what they are doing. What are they saying that they are doing? What are the things that they do that will make you aware that, you know what, I need to be careful with this company. I need to be careful of this. I need to be careful of what's going on. Those reviews are the things you need to be aware of. Check them very well. It will help you. The reason is because by the time you're checking those reviews and you're checking things that people are saying, it will give you a hint, it will give you an insight into what that company represents. So be very, very careful. Check the reviews, listen to, look at how people are communicating, because lack of communication is another is another red flag. You know, if a company say they will get back to you in a few days, and several weeks later they've not gotten back to you, and then all of a sudden they get back to you, that's a red flag. You've been interviewed on a Monday, and they said we've got more candidates we're going to interview the next day. Before the end of the week, we'll give you a call. End of the week, no email, no call from anyone. A week later, no email, no call from anyone. 2 weeks later or 3 weeks later, no email, no call from anyone. Then you have to be very careful. Be very, very, very careful. I look at such things. And sometimes when I'm working in an organization, if even I've been there for a year, I've been there for like 6 months, I've been there for some time, I'm looking at the directors, the way they communicate. Are they transparent in their communication? When they are dealing with staff, how do they deal with staff? How do they talk to staff? Most people don't look at all these things. I look at them because that's how I am. How was a staff sacked in your presence? What did they tell the staff that made that staff that made you to say, wow, this same thing can happen to me? Because you need to remember, wherever you're going to go to a job, whatever job you're going for, is not yours. It belongs to an organization. And the day they can tell you, you know what, we are going to be, you know, making some people redundant. The same way that guy or that lady was sacked is the same thing that's going to happen to you. So you need to have a backup plan. You need to have a backup plan, because you've made up your mind that you want to work 9 to 5. Yeah, that's 9 to 5, permanent role. Listen, they might give you a month's notice. They might give you 2 months notice. They might pay you off your leave, pay you off the time. You need to have a backup plan. So those red flags, you know, vague job description, communication, work culture, lack of communication. How do they relate with other employees, you know, that they have, you know, how is it? Another thing that you need to look at before I close this broadcast is any potential stress over current salary. Be very careful. So if you are told that, you know, a low salary will be made up for later, that's a red flag. That's a big red flag. Unprofessional communication, any potential is stressed over current salary is a red flag. Sometimes they are telling you, you know what, you need to bring a client in. When you bring this type of client in, that's what we can do. This is how we can work it out. Be very, very, very careful. Be very, very careful. Especially if you've worked in a private sector and you find out that, man, that culture of communication is not there. That culture of backing up the staff is not there. Customer is more important than the staff. Man, be very, very careful. I worked in an organization, not really an organization, it's like a charity worked for in the past, and voluntarily, and you find that, man, what they do is that if a member, not really a member, let me just say, you are employed to them, you're a leader leading the people, and then they've got some people who they are working with. The person complains about you to them, immediately you could be sacked, you could be demoted. Those are red flags. It should show you that, man, listen, you're working in an organization. This is not, it's a business organization. And if they look at you, they don't consider you as important, then you have to be careful. Okay, yeah, we are Cedar Pro. My name is OG. I want to say thanks so much for joining this broadcast. If you have any question, you have anything you want to say, or maybe you're working in an organization where you are already seeing this red flag, then you need to be very careful. Before I will conclude this broadcast, I'll just quickly say this. If you are offered a different job than you applied for, that's a big red flag that you need to be very, very careful of that. Don't be too desperate. When people are desperate, they do anything. Don't be too desperate. I hear it sometimes in student voices when they come in, I just want any job. I just want to get into any role. You are desperate. You need to be careful. I just want to get into any job. If I can be offered any role, I will just take it. Right now, I'm in that position where I need anything. You can hear those things in their voices. Be very, very careful. Be very, very careful. Okay, guys, I'll be seeing you again tomorrow in Clubhouse. And please join us in Clubhouse. Now, we are currently carrying out a registration right now. And what we've said is this, 50% discount for everyone who will register between now and April ending. So take advantage of the early bird discount, take advantage of it, get involved in it. And we are Cedar Pro, and I'm so glad that I've been able to show you some red flags that you need to be aware of when you're applying for jobs. I've spoken about vague job description, communication, the culture of work. When you're giving a job role that is different from what you applied for. Now, please try as much as possible applying for any company. Carry out due diligence about the people you're going to be working for. Carry out background check about the company. Carry out background check about the CEO. Carry out background check about their financial, statements. Go as far as that. Carry out background check about their vision, their motto. What is their focus? Carry out background checks on those things. It's very, very important. The reason why I say carry out background check is because if you can do all this, it will give you a red flag and give you an immediate insight into where you're going. Also, carry out checks. Go online and carry out reviews about the company. I remember there were some students that I trained some months or years back. And this company was just all of them got offer from different companies, but they still got offer from a particular company. And one of them went for the interview, came back and said it wasn't a good interview. So they didn't take her. Then the next moment, another one got another job offer from the same company. And then they went online to carry out background check. And I was so happy the decisions that the student made, because I don't have to make that decision for them. They said, you know what, Mr. OG, I'm not going to apply for this job. Have you seen the reviews about this company? Man, then what I did myself was to get in contact with the person who was in charge of the department in that place and say, what exactly is going on in this company? Tell me more, because I have students who are applying for roles in this company. And then they gave me more information. You need to go online. The reviews were very, very bad. So my advice to any organization out there is this: look after your staff, treat them well, because people will leave reviews about the company. You can't take them to court, because it's an honest review about how they see the company. Is it a company that's got a culture of bringing in the staff? Is it a company that's got a culture of helping students get their continuous professional development? Is it a company that's got a culture of supporting students towards getting promotion, getting the roles that they want to get into? Those are the things that you need to look out for. If that thing is not in that company, you're going to get feedback. We are living in a digital world. We are living in a digital market. The whole world now is like one digital class where everybody can communicate with others. So as a company, as an individual, as a CEO, you're listening to me. My advice to you is this: treat your staff well, because they're going to leave comments about your company, which is not good. Now, guys, I would say thank you so much for joining me here. My name is OG. I'm one of the co-founders of Cedar Pro, a training organization based in United Kingdom. We train people in project management, business analysis, Scrum Master role, a product owner. In different sectors, we train people. I want to say thank you so much. And once again, it's been a great time being with you, and I'll be seeing you some other time. Take care, and I'll be ending this broadcast in the next few minutes. Thank you, and take care. Bye for now.